Welcome back. Today we have an update on Python interpreter and how CYXWIZ engine initializes the Python interpreter in the back end. So previously, as you can see in the console, this is the old method of how Python interpreter has been initialized. So at startup of the engine, that is when the interpreter is initialized, and this caused some problems. Right, one of the problem is early initialization, because when the engine initializes Python right at the back end, there is no way for us to change it. Even if we set the right path, it will not be changed. Python runtime won't be changed. It's going to use the runtime which the engine initialized at the startup. Right, so this is one problem that we encountered, and another problem we encountered is we don't have no environment isolation, and we also have wrong system path. So with the new update, this was solved. We have a lazy initialization. That simply means the engine will start without the Python being initialized, just as how different IDEs, for example, how the PyCharm IDE initializes Python interpreter at the back end. What we did was, when you run the engine, no Python will be initialized. So initialization will be done only when you create a project, when you use the console, or when you run a script. That is when a Python interpreter will be initialized. This simply means that when you create a project, right, the Python is going to create a virtual environment for that project. As a result, the engine will use the Python of that virtual environment. Now this is going to solve the issue of no environment isolation. So let me launch the new Python interpreter that we have. There will be a link in the description of this video where you can get the CYXWIZ engine. When you launch the CYXWIZ engine, we have like a startup. We can check on the console, and from this console you will see that Python is not being initialized. This is our engine startup, and it detect two Python. I have Python 3.12 and Python 3.14. so the engine is built on Python 3.12 again because of stability issues. Most packages are not yet in Python 3.14, and Python 3.12 is the stable Python interpreter so far. We are going to continue from here. We can see the previous project we have. You can create a new project, or you can continue with an empty project, just like you launch the engine. All right, from here, if we open our console and we type import like sys, you'll notice here that it says no Python is being initialized. All right, because we cannot use Python in an empty project. So what you can simply do is you can create a new project. All right, so when you create a new project, like example, select the desktop, example project will be created, and you can see tax here. Tax has been running. So in the back end, what happened is creating a virtual environment. So it takes time, and when the tax, when it's done, you can click on your tax here to see what is happening. You can see here it's creating a virtual environment in the back end, scanning the project files. All right, so you just have to be patient for this to complete. Our virtual environment creation is completed, right? And from here we can see our Python new project, and if you go on Dix and we check, you'll see the example project. If we launch it, now we can see our Python virtual environment is created, right? We have everything set up for us. On this command we can use pip, right? For example, just type here. Now you can type pip install matplotlib. Right, pip is running, and it's running asynchronously, so it's going to check matplotlib and collecting using package blah blah blah. So now it is installing our package in our environment, in our virtual environment. All right, then from here we can open our console, and we can type a simple thing. We can print a simple hello world. All right, so that is the update with the Python environment, with the Python interpreter. I hope this has been informative, and I will see you in the next one. View.